for the Amazon Leadership Initiative. And I'm very happy, extremely happy to be here with you all. It's what we do here, doing webinars and bringing people on board and having online discussions as the Western Africa Caucus. The Adeleye is a non-profit making organization. As a non-profit making organization, the Adeleye works with young girls from the age of 14 to 29, and we are all over Africa. We are at the west, the east, the north, the south, the central. Wherever you think Africa, we are there. So we are divided into 3 caucuses. We have the west, we have the Central Caucus, which covers most of the Central Africa side, and it covers the east part, it covers the north part, and then we have the Southern Africa. And the Adeleye is registered, and our headquarters is in South Africa. That is the Southern Africa Caucus, that's where they are. And here at the Western Africa Caucus, that is the West African countries, we are covering them. We have membership all over the West African countries. That is Togo. You can see the chat box. We have Togo, we have Sierra Leone, we have Nigeria, we have Ghana, we have, you can think the French countries, Cameroon. We have almost all of these places together, and we have the Gambia, by the way. So in as far and close of this Western Africa continent, we have all of it together here as one. And we are sisters. We build up each other. We have our website, which is www.theadeleye.org. In case you want to check us up, you want to know what's happening and what we do, or you want to partner with us, you can check it out. And we have our annual events that we usually hold. At first, we do it online. Now we do it at the last time we held it in South Africa. This time we are looking forward to holding it somewhere else, or same South Africa, it depends. But yes, that is what we do. We are more than 5,000. And as the whole of the Adeleye, we have board of directors, we have the leaders, that is our associates, and then we have the leaders, that is the caucus volunteers, that's the president, the vice president, the secretaries, and the rest. We have the YFL members, of which all of us are part of. I am privileged to be here. Thank you so much for coming and be with us. And I pray this goes successful and we all learn. And so the floor is back to you, Priscilla. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Khadijatu, for that wonderful opening remarks. So now we'll be moving to, we'll be having our first speaker, Ms. Chinenye Adeleye. Ms. Chinenye Adeleye is a social entrepreneur and also the founder of the Volunteers of Africa. Please stay with me as I read Ms. Chinenye's bio. Chinenye Adeleye is a highly accomplished social entrepreneur, project manager, and mentor. She is recognized as an award-winning professional volunteer, a TEDx and international speaker, and a leading figure in the non-profit sector. As a founder of Volunteers of Africa, Chinenye has established an organization that outsources volunteers to non-profits for project management and execution. This initiative has won numerous awards and recognition for its innovative approach to community-led projects. She is also a consultant and coach, having trained over 2,000 volunteers and professionals in nonprofits. Chinenye is a skilled leader and expert in project management, learning and development, curriculum development, team building, including monitoring and evaluation. She currently works in the monitoring and evaluation team at a creative academy, using her expertise to create measurable impact within the organization. In addition to her professional accomplishments, Chinenye is a mental and emotional health enthusiast who is passionate about spreading joy and positivity. She is a true inspiration to young people, having inspired them to volunteer and give back to society through community-led projects. Now, please let's welcome Ms. Chinenye. Please, with your favorite emoji, please welcome Ms. Chinenye Adeleye as she comes on board. Please welcome her, please. Please do that on the chat box. Welcome, Ms. Chinenye. Thank you. Thank you, Khadija Tubari. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Jacinta, thank you. Elizabeth, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Miss Chinenye, the floor is yours. Miss Chinenye, are you there?
All right. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm here. My network has been so bad. Hi, everyone. Good evening from Nigeria. How you all doing? I'm so excited to be here. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much to Mary that invited me over to be here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much to Mishi for also having me. And thank you to our founder, Mrs. Kaju Jatsu. Thank you so much for this amazing, amazing platform, where women can come together to share insights, for us to be better versions of ourselves. I'm very happy to be here. All right, so let's just get straight into it. Please, to Michelle, how many minutes do I have so I can ensure that I stay within my time?
Okay, you have 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
All right, all right, cool. So as much as possible, I want to ensure that I am actually addressing, I don't just want to come and just write because I already have my write-up down, but then I don't just want to talk and talk. I want to ensure that I'm addressing people's questions. So I'll just speak for say 10 minutes. So if you have questions, I want to answer questions for like 20 minutes. I already have one question that Mary sent to me yesterday, right? So if you have questions about career, about your business, about evolving in the job market, about getting a job, about standing out in your job, about anything that has to do with topic, entrepreneurship and evolving job market, please drop it in the comment section. As soon as I'm able to check it out, I'll definitely respond to you. Is that fine?
It's fine. It's fine. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. So as much as I speak, I want to see reactions in the chat box because I just want to see that people are following me. All right. So I'm seeing, okay, our founder, Miss Mary, is pleased to be here. Okay. Okay, that means Miss Mary is the founder. I think I'm getting it all wrong. Maybe I didn't listen well. So Michelle, pull me through. Am I right? So Michelle, can you hear me? Is it my network? Okay.
I can hear you. So let me hi, good evening, Miss Chine. Let me make a bit of introduction to the organization a bit. So the organization is founded by Miss Mary Zobo. She's not here. So she's an international human rights lawyer, but she's based in South Africa. Now, because we have different caucus, West Africa, South Africa, Central and Eastern Africa. This is just the West African people. We are just the ones having this. And the West Africa have a president, which is Kadijatu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So the president for this caucus is Mrs. Kadijatu, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for that perspective. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so as I was saying, I'll just speak for a bit and then move on to the questions. So I want to ensure that I'm addressing everyone's questions. So don't be shy. I cannot even see your face. Neither can you see mine. So don't worry. I'm a fine girl. You don't have to think too much. All right. So I just want us to have a very good time today and take something away. You understand? So let's talk about, I will not speak much about entrepreneurship because I own a business, but I'm not neck deep into it. I run an interior design firm, and I design spaces, right? So I'll just find a way to just speak. So I'm gonna give some tips that can help you, even if you're a business owner or you work in a company. That's you have a job, right? You're working for somebody, you're an employee, right? So most times tips or strategies cut across every place. For example, if someone says, oh, become consistent. If you're consistent as a job owner, you're going to do well. And, break boundaries. If you're consistent as an employee, at every point, you're very determined to do all you're supposed to do, right? You also excel in that space. So most times, most of these strategies and tips and all of that cuts across everywhere. You as a human being, you as a business owner, you as a job person or a career person or an employee. You understand? So let's talk about it. The world is changing. And I love that the topic is talking about the evolving job market, right? Because if you realize now, there was no AI before. And I hope you can agree with me. Like, there was nothing like AI. Or maybe there was AI, but it was not as developed as it is now. Right now, if I want to get a 50-page book written, all I need to do is go to ChatGPT, go to Gemini, go to Meta AI, and put the topic I want and ask for my content. And it's popping out. I don't need to think. Highest I'll do is maybe edit, because there are some words that I don't want to be used, or I want to put it in my own context, right? So if someone had told you that, there was going to be an app that will help us to write out this kind of so content. 10 years ago, you would have looked at the person and laughed and say, you say what? Nah, it's not going to be possible. But here we are. And the truth is, as much as people criticize and say, I don't believe in AI. I don't like AI. AI is just there. It makes people lazy. The truth is that it has its good parts. For example, it saves your time. So where you would have sat down to rack your head for maybe 3-4 months, all you do is sit down and creatively ask the tool to get out a particular content you need. And then you have it at your disposal. You sit down and creatively edit it, creatively put it to ensure that it fits your own narrative. And that's why we're here today. How can we put ourselves out there as females to ensure that we are constantly evolving as the job market is evolving? Because trust me, if you are someone that just learned how to use typewriter and you've not evolved in how to use computers and laptops and tabs, no one will employ you. So if they ask you, because in most jobs I see, they'll tell you, put it there, proficiency in MS tools, proficiency in tools like Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And if you have not learned all of these things, you're still in the analog age. Nobody will hire you, because the barest of the barest minimum right now is that you can operate a computer. You can type, you can use Excel, like the basic Excel. You can use PowerPoint and to create a slide, for example, right? So it is now for you to ask yourself, how can I always be that person that even when they are laying people off, they cannot afford to lay me off because of the kind of mind I have, because of my skills, because of how much I'm bringing into the company, because of how I handle matters. When there are issues, they know that I'm the go-to person to always reach out to, because I'm always that person that will do anything or make things happen and make things go well, right? So let's talk about the evolving job markets. I've talked about automation and AI. AI is increasingly being very, useful to enhance productivity and efficiency. Now, if you're the person that said, I don't like to use AI, people just copy the same thing, you realize that your colleagues are turning in jobs and turning in deliverables faster than you are. Yes, you might have the idea, but the time that you used to sit down to write, because some people tell me, Chinenye is very, yes, I agree. But the question is, how well can you because at this point, I remember most times when I try to apply for jobs, to put, if you can work in a fast-paced environment. The question is, what does fast-paced mean? It means that they need people that can turn in things at the speed of time. When they ask you for something in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're turning it in, right? Now, this is me also saying that you should not over-rely on AI, because there's still a test of originality somewhere. People want to see originals. But then AI can actually help you to tie into, give you different perspective of things that you might have not even thought of, things that are happening in other parts of the country. But because you're not there, you know only about Nigeria. It now gives you a full view of different things happening in different places part time. And that makes you look like you've done proper research. So that makes you, people are like, now, ask her, she's going to give you a different perspective. You might not be the one thinking about all of this, but AI has help, right? So it's important that you always ask yourself, what can I do to ensure that I am very efficient, I'm effective, I'm not wasting time? And remember that at the end of the day, you still need to be very original. You still need to find a way to infuse your own personality into your either your writing, your deliverables, or your presentation. Very, very important. The next thing is gig work, gig economy. Truth is, the world has moved. A lot of people are tilting towards remote work, gig economy, use of Fiverr, use of Upwork, different platforms where you can, market your skills and get paid for it. So you don't even have an excuse and saying, oh, I don't have a job. Ask people, how are they getting to do it? Ask them, what app do I need to install to ensure that I'm also in tune with the world? So you have maybe you have administrative skills and you're not getting the job. Can you download Fiverr, Upwork, and start putting yourself out there to say, okay, ask people, do I need to take a course on how I can apply for this so that I can get clients wanting to pay me for my work on all of this? You'll be shocked because most of these platforms, they pay in dollars. You'll be shocked of how much you can make in a month. So if you're sitting down to me saying, no, I don't have a job, nobody wants to employ me, trust me, sometimes you're the one that is just ignorant. You don't know what's going on. You need to ensure that you are always on point. You know what's going on at time. You're asking questions. You have to be you have to be very current. Type in the comment section, I will be current. Let me know that we're following. I will be current. I will know what is going on, right? In this space, in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone, wherever I find myself, I will ensure that I will know what is up. Why? Because if you keep staying and folding your arms, you realize that a lot of things are bypassing you. You'll be hearing people calling some kind of money and some kind of numbers, and you'll be like, in this world, in this economy, let me use my Nigerian words, in this Tinubu economy, how is it possible? But let me tell you, it's very possible. People are counting it at every point. So you need information. Information is still power. And trust me, we have an overload of information in this generation. Why? Social media, internet, data, all of these things at our disposal are staring us in the face. You just have to take that extra time. Instead of you spending so much time on chatting, WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, take 50% of that time and infuse it in your personal development. Okay, I've done Snapchat, I've done Instagram, I've done Facebook, I've done WhatsApp. Okay, can I just take 10 minutes of my time to just go and research on the trend of getting jobs, on how I can be better at my job today? Right? So I'm not seeing questions yet. So I want to start seeing questions. Please ensure that you ask me questions. The next one is skills training. Okay, someone is telling me that they have a question. Let me open the chat. My network is dragging me. Okay. Okay, someone is asking me, I have a question for you, ma'am. I want to start an NPO, that's non-profit organization, focusing on improving children's life through education and advocating for their rights and getting them the resources they need. I've been trying to get mentors with no luck. How would you advise someone like me to get mentors to start? And I'm going to answer that question in a bit. I just want to talk about skills training and skills development. I said it earlier, right? That you cannot, when they say you cannot pour from an empty cup and you cannot give what you don't have. And in the job market, people are looking for smart people. People are looking for people that know their onions. And that can only happen when you are constantly training yourself. Ask yourself, how many courses have you taken this year? Sorry, how many courses have you taken this year? Ask yourself, because you think about it. So if you've not taken any course this year, it means that what you knew last year is what you soon know in 2024, and it's almost a year. It means that your OS is getting obsolete. You know what I mean by OS, operating system. You need to, you see the way iPhone upgrades their OS, you always need to upgrade your OS, upskill. Even if it's a 30 minutes course, just take it and just have an idea of what that course is talking about. That always puts you in front. You cannot underestimate the power of knowledge. And when you're speaking from a very informed perspective, people know. People are like, this person knows what she's saying. They want to listen to you. But if the last time you took a course or developed yourself mentally or personally was last year, February, it means that people supposed to start questioning you, like, if my iPhone does not upgrade its OS in a whole year, I'll be worried that what's going on with Apple? What's wrong with Apple Store? Why are they not doing something about it? In a year, at least they upgrade their OS at every time. And that's machine. So imagine you, a living and breathing human being, that a lot of people are depending on your emergence. Your boss at work is expecting you to do so well, so that you can move the business forward. But you're here just being the same person that you were yesterday. So you need to always have at the back of your mind that I need to train. I have something that says workers must continually update their skills to remain relevant. That's a very big one. For you to remain relevant, you need to constantly upgrade your skill, update your skills, so that at every point, when they are looking to promote people, you're the first that comes to their mind that, nah, this person is due for a promotion. Please, let's give it to her. Sometimes we need to ask ourselves, if I'm the owner of this business and I want to promote people, will I promote myself? I think that's where some of our answers will come from. Like, do I deserve to be promoted? If I own a business and I have an employee like me, will I want to promote myself? So at every point in time, you need to constantly think about that. See, learning is lifelong. Education is lifelong. Schooling, you can just school from maybe primary 1 or wherever, from your primary school education, secondary school to university. You can decide to do master's or PhD if you want. That's schooling. But you see, education, it's lifelong. You learn. So every day before you sleep, ask yourself, what have I learned today? Did I learn a new word? Did I learn how to be better? Right? Did I read a book? Did I take a new course? Did I ask questions? Did I learn about a new app that can improve my productivity? Did I learn about a new AI that can help me to get better in my writing? Or did I have a passion? What am I doing to fuel this passion? Have I spoken to someone about my passion? Have I even posted on social media about what I've been doing? Or have I been hiding? I don't want people to know about me. I don't want people to feel like my own is too much. Nah, that should not be you. Because if people don't know that your own is too much, how will they want to engage you? How will they want to give you a job? How will they want to know that you have this skill so that they can, get you on board for $1 million gigs and all of that? So at every point, you need to stand on the business that I must get better. The way business people take a stock of their life, whereby they sit down and say, okay, at the beginning of this month, I had 50 eggs in my store, or 50 crates of eggs in my store. Right now, I have 10 crates of eggs in my store. It means I sold 40 crates of eggs. Now, let me check my account balance. Is it tallying with how much I have in my bank account? Am I, did someone steal from me? Oh, did I lose some money? Or did I sell the market in a particular way that has made me run at a loss? Right? So you need to always take a stock of your life. Because sometimes I sit down and I just think, I'm like, okay, Chine, what have you achieved this month? What did you do? Did you read a book? Who did you connect with? How are you publicizing yourself? How are you marketing yourself? What have you done differently this month? Oh, are you getting better? Or have you diminished? How is your work? Were you able to, so when I take all of these talks, I drop some things and I embrace some things. Sometimes I get to leave some jobs. I say, no, I'm not doing this job again. This job is not adding to my life. It's frustrating me, so I'm not doing it again. Or this friendship, nah, I can't continue this friendship. This person is taking from me. This person is not adding for me. Or nah, I'm not going to invest in this again. I realize that my investment there has dropped. My money has gone so low. So my money to go high. I realize my money is going down. I'm not investing here again. Or I realize I'm spending so much on wigs and shoes. I need to stop it so that my finance can go. So you need to take stock of your life. This is a new month. Be very intentional this month. Tell yourself, I'm going to ensure that I'm very intentional. I'm going to upskill. And by the end of the month, I'm going to take a stock of my life and see where I am. And you'd see your life get better. You don't just be living your life anyhow. You live your life intentionally. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions. I've made hard decisions in my life. And every time I make it, it hurts. But in the long run, it pays me. And I'm always very proud of it. So most times you don't just do things for now. Do things for the future. Knowing that you love yourself. And knowing that nobody's coming to save you. Only God can save you, but he will not come down from heaven. Sometimes he will leave you to do some things by yourself. And if you fail, he'll be watching you like, okay, I've given you the autonomy to make decisions. Use it. Right? So now let me quickly answer Elizabeth. So she's asking about she wants to start a non-profit, improving children's life through education and advocating for their rights. First of all, I'll start by saying there are loads of organizations that are already doing this. Whenever people want to start something, I always tell them, there's someone that have done these things before, right? So find a way to work with them. And this can happen via volunteering. I know a lot of organizations that run non-profit for children in education, nationally and internationally, globally. And there's something that they keep asking for volunteers. So you can check out for those kind of people. You don't even have to be there physically. It can be in Nigeria, it can be in South Africa, it can be in America, it can be in anywhere in the world, right? They're always asking for volunteers. So click on volunteer. Put your details. They'll reach out to you. Sometimes the organizations can even do like interviews for you to be sure that you're a right volunteer. They're not paying you, but they want to ensure that they have the right people on their team, right? You volunteer, then you are part of them. Now, you're already achieving the goals of working with children in education, making their lives better. Yes, you don't own it, right? But you're already seeing how it is wrong. You're seeing how they call for volunteers. You're seeing how they are organizing things. You're seeing how the admin is working. You're seeing how they talk about getting grants, getting loans, getting things that can help or crowdfunding or whatever, right? You are learning on the job, right? So it is easy after a few times I said, okay, I want to start mine. So that's how you can even get mentors, because now you are a volunteer. You put it on your bio wherever. You share stories about how volunteering in this organization has helped you, this, that. Before you know it, you start attracting the right people in your space. You start attracting the right people that can tell you, oh, I think you should do it, Elizabeth. I think you should do that, Elizabeth. Try this, try this, try this, try this, try that. It's easier that way. Do you understand? So don't always think, okay, because I have a passion for something, I must start my own. Nah, sometimes all you need to do is just join an organization. And as your mind keep opening, you now have the mind to start yours. Because now you're coming from an informed perspective. You're not just starting because you want to start. You're starting because you understand how things run. It's not easy to run a non-profit. It's not just about, oh, I run a non-profit. It's a lot. You need to learn leadership skills. You need to learn team building. You need to learn how to talk to people. You need to know how to get people to stay, because you cannot do it alone. You need people to work with you. If not, you burn out. You understand? So leadership skills is like top notch. If you're a bad leader for a non-profit, no, you'll be alone. Nobody will work with you. Everybody will say, nah, I can't work with this lady. My own is too much. I can't deal, please. The wahala she gives is a lot. I can't. But if you are that person that everybody knows that now, when it comes to Elizabeth, she's top-notch in her leadership skills. She understands. She empathizes. She knows how to encourage. She's very intentional. If she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. She's consistent. You realize that people are always are always attracted to you. But if you don't know all of these things, how do you want to run yours? So volunteer. And in volunteering, you can now find a mentor. You can work so hard and volunteer so hard that you even get so close to the founder that you don't even need to make it official that you are being mentored. But indirectly, you're already being mentored because now you're going to meet a lot of people there, especially with a global organization. You now have sisters and brothers and friends in and out of your country. You understand? So I always tell people, start from the scratch. And the interesting thing about it is that you know that you don't have to have like a big organization to say, oh, you're doing something. Brighten the corner where you are. You can start from people in your compound, in your church. Bring small children together, right? And talk to them and say, oh, children, do you know what education, especially those that are not going to school? Education is this, that. Get a small board and teach them. Dedicate like maybe every Saturday if you're free. Teach them. Take a picture of what you've done and post it online and say, today in my area, I taught 10 children on alphabets and numbers. And now they could not write, now they can write. See, all of this is showing that, first of all, you're changing narrative. Second of all, you are now putting it out there for people to know what you're doing. Before you know it, people will start reaching out to you and say, oh, Elizabeth, I like what you're doing. How can we work with you? Oh, can we donate blackboard to you? Can we donate pencils? Can we donate books? Can we donate storybooks? Before you know it, what's the tiny thing you started in the corner of your house has become so big that you cannot even manage it again. So whenever you want to start something that has to do with your passion, always remember that it doesn't have to be so big. Look at it now. All of us are having conversations here. I've never met you, Elizabeth. You don't even know how I look. I can see your picture, but it's black and white. So if I see you on the road tomorrow, I don't even know you're the one. But all of us are speaking here, right? So, okay, you're very started your reading program for kids at Mount. I think, yeah, please keep at it. Keep at it. Make it bigger. Tell stories about it. Talk about students that came into the school that didn't even have any reading habits. And now they're already forming groups of reading clubs and all of that. Because that's where it starts. Once a child can read and write, that's a very solid foundation. That's where education starts from, to be honest. So please keep at it. Don't stop. Thank you very much for that question. All right, so before I move on, because I know that my time is already almost up, right? Mary sent me a question yesterday, and I quickly want to address it before I leave. So he said, someone says, I'm nervous about the next phase of my life. I finished my final papers yesterday as an undergraduate in Nigeria. Opportunities aren't really just there. What next to do? I'm still figuring that one out, but I'm happy, I'm alive. I know I'm going to be great. Now, first of all, I love that you said you're happy, you're alive, and you know you're going to be great. That's beautiful. Then, I also want to change your mindset about the fact that there are no opportunities. I can tell you for a fact that there are so many opportunities. I have HR friends. My younger sister is at HR, and I can tell you categorically that she always tells me, Chinenye, we're always looking for talents. But it feels like people in this generation, they are not even ready to want to work. You'll do interviews and you're wondering, how are you a graduate? Your spoken English is not even clear. You don't know how to write articulately. You don't know how to work. You're lazy. You don't even know how to do your deliverables. So I want you to understand that there are opportunities. But what will make you stand out? Number one, your dedication and determination to work. Number two, your own personal research skills. You need to get ready to research and put yourself out there. The question is, do you even have a CV? When you were in school, what were you doing? Did you volunteer? Did you already ask yourself, well, because the world have changed. The world is not just the normal, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a what. There are a lot of other jobs out there. There are tech skills. That one is on its own. Product management, data analysis, and the rest. There's digital. If you're a mass communication person, you need to move out of that and start saying, I want to do digital marketing, I want to do comms, I want to do PR, I want to do marketing, right? So there are a lot of jobs out there. Or you want to be a teacher. Teacher is not just about you being the four walls of schools. I can be in my house, create content for teaching, send it to guys that have platforms and apps. They upload it there and people pay my service and I get paid. You understand? So, first of all, I need to change your mindset that there are no opportunities. There are a lot. It's just for you to wake up and grab them. One of my mentors will say, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? It's how bad you want it will push you, to want to go above and beyond. I hate poverty with my life. I hate being poor or being broke. And that's why I work so hard. I do a lot of things to make money. And the reason I want to make money is not just because I want to be able to have fine things of life. It's also to support young people. Say, okay, this person cannot afford the school fees. Let me pay. I do that a lot. This person does not have a good shoe. I see it and I'm like, okay, I'll find what I can do and just send the money to them. To support NGOs and everything because it's my passion. So I run an NGO so I can explain, I can understand how much money that space needs. You understand? So at every point, you need to ask yourself, how bad do I want this? Now I'm a graduate. Do I need to sit down for the next 3-4 months? Yes, I've signed out. Oh, they've signed on my t-shirt. Signing out. Finally, last day in the school, I pack my load, I leave the hostel. You need to start asking yourself, what else do I need to do? I need to sit down for the next 3 months, lock myself up in one place and just take a new course. As soon as I'm done, I put it out that I've gotten this course, look for internship positions, apply for it, work my way through the top. Or I want to start a business. So I'm going to take a course on how to effectively run a business. Right? Get mentors that will mentor you. Start that business, ask people, I know how to run ads, know how to market, work with PR agencies, and that's it. So you need to ask yourself at this point, what do I really want and how I can get? You need to get rid of every thought that, oh, I cannot, there are no opportunities, I don't know what to do. But what's the word now? It's not an option. If you know you're going to be great, then you're going to ask yourself, what are the strategies I need to put in place? Do I need to change my friends? Are they the ones speaking negativity into my life? Do I need to speak to a friend of mine that can help me? Do I need to go online and start asking people, what kind of internship can I get? I'm looking for an internship position. Please help me without you being shy. Because see, there's no need to be shy when you are broke or when you are poor. When you are in need, because it's now double trouble. You are jobless and you are now shameful again. Double trouble. So it's better that at least you are jobless. You don't have shame. You come out and post. That way someone can see and say, let me help this girl's life. Let me quickly help them and say, okay, take this job and have an internship position. Sometimes the internship position may not come with pay. But trust me, the fact that you're able to work in a company, you already have that experience on your CV. Because a lot of people would say, oh, you need to have an experience of at least 2 years, 3 years. And you're just fresh from the university and maybe you didn't do much in school. Like maybe you didn't do much. You're just going to class. You're coming out of class. You graduated well and all of that. But you didn't pay attention to the outside world. It means that you might have to sacrifice 6 months of your time to work for free and understand and get that experience so that you can easily put on your CV and say, oh, I worked with so-and-so company for this period and now I've gained the experience. You understand? So, at the end of the day, you need to boldly come out and speak and say, see, I need help. Anybody help me? And let me tell you, coming out to beg for money at every point is not a strategy because it's not sustainable. Every time I need money, you people should help me, I'm hungry, I've not eaten for 3 days, hey, please, I don't want to die. It's not sustainable. You understand? So you need to ask yourself, what can I do? So that, because see, I realized something. From the point where from when you get to that point where you realize that, see, I don't want to beg to eat. I can actually give out value, to be paid for value, so that I can now feed. Your life will take a new turn. After the food, I will say, every small thing, urgent 2K, urgent 3K. And I'm like, you cannot run your life like this. It's not sustainable. Instead, sell your value. Sell that special skill you have for money. Now, if there's something it does to your confidence, right? It's different. People see you as someone that gives value. So every time I'm broke and I need money, I think, what skill do I have that I can quickly monetize? And I'm not thinking of who can I borrow urgent 2K from. That's not a good mindset to have. Because like I said, it is not sustainable. But if you're that kind of person that you're thinking, what is that skill I have that I can quickly monetize? You have changed your whole life. You can never be broke again. Take it from me. So even as much as I am married, I have a husband, I always try to ask myself, what can I do? What can I do that will make money, that I can even support him in the home? Because the way the world is now, you cannot be depending on one person to provide for the family home front. You have to think, what else can I do as a woman? How can I? Because we are Amazons here, right? Because if we're clamoring for, we want equality, we want equity, we want this, then we need to start bringing something to the table. Ask yourself, what am I bringing? Even to my life, am I outsourcing my financial life to somebody? You need to ask yourself. You cannot be outsourcing that very crucial part of your life to a man or to whoever. You need to think, what can I do? I cannot be a liability. I'm an asset. I'm clamoring for change. I'm clamoring for people to recognize me better. And for that to happen, I need to come out as a confident person. And one of the things that gives you confidence sometimes is money, to be honest. There's kind of money that will hit your account that you will stand up and walk in a particular way. Your walking posture, the way you walk will change. Because every time you want to feel sad, I have some kind of money in my account. It's different. So you need to ask yourself, how can this money cannot just come from the air. It's come from something that you have to work for. So you have to do something. Business, job, find a way to do it. I'll leave you with this. I wrote something on my LinkedIn. I think that's the last post I have. So you can check me out. Let me put my LinkedIn page so that you can just check me out and add me. I try to always drop posts there. Yeah, so your confidence level would shut up in a way like you wondering that what has happened here. Yeah, so I've dropped my LinkedIn name, LinkedIn handle. I wrote something there. I think that's the last article I wrote. It's talking about you being the CEO, the CMO, the COO, and the CFO of your life. The CEO of your life means that you're Chief Executive Officer. You lead your life. That's where self-leadership comes in. You know what to do part-time. You make decisions that push out your life. You don't outsource it. The next one is Chief Operating Officer. You take actions. You know when to attend a particular event. You know when to network. You know when to do things. Right? Next one is Chief Marketing Officer. You know how to market yourself. You're speaking to someone, you're telling them everything you do. Asking them, which of my services do you need? Shamelessly. Like I saw someone saying, you cannot shame the shameless. You shamelessly carry your market on your head. Like, see, if I don't sell this market today, you will not hear what. People ask, when people start asking you, oh yeah, let me buy. You are suffocating me with this information. That's when you know that you have just started. You have not gotten far. You have just started. And finally, you're the CFO of your life. As a woman, you need to understand savings culture, investment culture. You need to see, even if you're start, we also have the business part of this conversation. If you're running a business, you need to understand when to touch your money, how to pay yourself. You're not just going to buy something for 1K. You come and sell it for 1, 2. You eat the profits. How is that sustainable? You need to know, okay, how do I calculate my profits? How do I calculate my capital? What do I need? Oh, am I running at a loss? Do I need to stop this business immediately? Right? So at every point in time, ensure that you remember that you are the CEO, the CFO, the CEO, and CMO of your life. You cannot outsource all of these. You cannot outsource all of these positions in your life. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Miss Chinenye. Thank you so much for that amazing section. Thank you. You were really on fire. Thank you so much. We learned so much from you. I learned a lot. And one of some of those things I learned is that we need to ensure that you're always on point, constantly upgrading and updating our skills. And then we seek for information, we learn leadership skill, then we learn team building. We should always sharpen our skills. Then one thing, be shameless for your betterment, for your betterment. Be shameless for your betterness. Wow, that was so amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Chinenye. Please, everyone, I want us to drop on the comment section on the chat box. What is that thing that resonates with you from Miss Chinenye's section? What is that thing? That keyword, that sentence, that point that resonates with you. For me personally, to summarize it is to live intentional. So we should be intentional. So please drop it on the chat box, please. What is that thing that you're going with this evening? What is that keyword? That one thing you're going with. Please, let's use the chat box, please. Okay, Elizabeth, be shameless in your hustle in the value you bring. Wow, that's so nice. That's a good one. No one will come and save you. Even God will not come down and save you. By Jacinta. Very nice. That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Then also by Khadija to Barry, volunteer, always volunteer. Wow, that's a nice one as well. Thank you, everyone. So moving on, we'll be having Miss Ariana Oluwole, and she will be taking us on the topic entrepreneurship, carving a niche area and thriving at it. So please stay with me as I read Ms. Ariana's bio. Miss Ariana Oluwole is a change maker who believes in the power of holistic education as a tool for nation building and development. She is the pioneer and partner of several groundbreaking educational and community development projects in Sierra Leone, most notably our educational consultancy and early learning center, near Educational Group, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Unit, Sierra Leone, Psychiatric Teaching Hospital, and the Freetown City Council, early learning centers for children of market women and traders. She is passionate about uplifting others, transforming people and careers through a lifestyle blog. And we can find that on www.arianadiaries.com. Ariana is bent on becoming Africa's next leading leadership and emotional well-being coach. She is a highly regarded public speaker on both national and international levels on varying topics of interest. She has been TEDx coach, organizer, and a speaker on different occasions. Edupreneur, as she is fondly called by her mentors and peers alike, is fully invested in finding educational solutions, designing and delivering workshops, mainly in the areas of transformational coaching, education management, organization, and soft skill development. To name a few of her projects, the Office of the President of Sierra Leone in producing the first ever presidential town hall design and facilitation of several GIZ, EU-led projects, partner to UNDP Social Good Summit 2020-2021, and coordinator of the Syria debate. Our work has been featured on Guardian Nigeria, Africa S Project, BBC Focus on Africa, and in July 2021, CNN African Voices for a Change Maker special future. Please, let's make welcome Ms. Ariana Oluwole with a welcoming ovation, please. Please, let's welcome her with your favorite emoji. Please welcome Ms. Ariana Oluwole. Thank you. Ms. Ariana Oluwole, this floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Wonderful. So I would love to say thank you to the Amazon Initiative for having me, and particularly Khadija too, the president for the West Africa Caucus, for extending the invitation to me. I must say it's been quite an enlightening time, and kudos to the first speaker. I'm definitely connecting with you after this. So, young, dynamic women on the call, I would like for you to first start by saying hello and telling me how you feel about entrepreneurship with an emoji. Let's continue with the emoji trends. So I'm waiting to ensure that everybody has refilled their energy level and they're ready to stay with me. So just drop the emojis. Tell me what you feel about entrepreneurship with a comment. Because what I intend to do is have a feel of what your ideas are through these comments that you're sending. And I trust that by the end of the next couple of minutes, I will be able to give you some insights and change some of your perspectives. And I might shake some tables. So please bring, oh yeah, danger zone alert. That's wonderful. I'm going to change that perspective. Don't be afraid of entrepreneurship. All right, okay. So thank you for the welcome. And I see a lot of sad faces. Perhaps it's time to piggyback off on our first speaker to say it's all about how you look at things, how you condition your mind and your approach to everything. It's interesting that the topics are intertwined. So I'll try not to repeat some of what she said that already added on to my talk. I'll try to just focus on other areas that she might have not covered and look at it from a niche perspective and how can we thrive in entrepreneurship. But before we deep dive, I would love to again ask a question. Of course, I'm a teacher, so questions are part of who I am. How do you define entrepreneurship? What's your definition of entrepreneurship? Maybe one or two people on the call, if you don't mind sharing, just a couple of words. What is entrepreneurship? What does it mean for you? Okay. Are we there? Are we there? Are we there? Oh, I think we're typing. What does entrepreneurship mean for you? Because a lot of times people assume that having a business idea is entrepreneurship. Doing business is entrepreneurship. Oh, yes, you can unmute. You can unmute and I can take two questions. So put up your hand if you want to answer that question, and I'm going to take two answers, sorry. Yacinta, you can unmute and tell us what you think entrepreneurship is.
I hope I'm audible.
You're very audible. Please
Hello?
go ahead. Yes,
Great.
please, you're audible.
Great. So for me, understanding of entrepreneurship is one's ability to identify a problem, right? And that problem is intertwined with the needs of a people in that particular setting, and then trying to come out with a solution in a way that not only solves the problem, but also provides you with an a business opportunity that will eventually lead to making profit. So in the end, there's a problem, there is a demand, and then you come along as a solution, and then you make money out of it as a result. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm going to hand over the mic to you because you seem to be right on top of this game. Thank you for sharing that. That, in a nutshell, is entrepreneurship. A couple of things I would like to add on to that. It's not all of the time that you make money out of entrepreneurship. And this is why you have different kinds of entrepreneurship. Sometimes with entrepreneurship, it is about social progress, social change, adding value to other people's lives without getting any financial returns. The truth of the matter is, a lot of people do not understand that abundance, growth, and becoming fulfilled is not necessarily just through the exchange of goods and money and financial currency. Becoming fulfilled also comes from you empowering others, contributing to society. I know some people will be like, well, how the hell do I get to feed my family? How do I get to move on with my life? How do I get to pay the bills? Well, the interesting part is, if you remember what the last speaker said, there are many times when you have a great idea that you could actually latch on to an existing pipe. I like to build and get people to visualize. So now imagine, for most of us, we have water coming into our houses in this modern age through pipes, through taps. Well, that water is coming from a reservoir of some sort, and it could be miles and miles away. But you're in your house right now and you're turning the tap open, and all you see is the water. So there are many times for social entrepreneurship where you have to be able to position yourself into an existing system already, where the mechanisms are there. What you go in now, like Chinenye said earlier, is with your skills. It's with your abilities to make a change. It's with your differential power. What is that spark that you have that cannot turn into a volcano? Are you with me? If you're with me, I want to see at least someone give me a smile in the comments. So you should know when we're doing this, like not face to face, sometimes some people get to be like behind, and I don't want that. So I want to start off by shaking that table. Social entrepreneurship can be profitable if you're able to leverage on existing companies that are working to find certain solutions. You can go there now with your own problem-solving ideas that you've created, and you're looking for support to push those ideas forward. As we go along, feel free to drop questions that you may have had already about entrepreneurship in the comments. I see the smiles, yeah, that people are with me, great. So please drop comments that you've already had previously, and if questions arise as we go along, feel free to drop them. I'll talk for like 10, 15 minutes, and I'll be sure to address as many of your questions as the time permits. So we've gone back to the definition of entrepreneurship. That entrepreneurship, it's actually a very dynamic process where you identify, you create, and you capture value. It is very important that we never forget that you capture value through solutions. So that's products, that's services, and also through resource optimization. Who are the people around you that you can tap into? What are the things that you already have that you can make a better use of? I know several times it's been mentioned already. For some of us, we have access to so many platforms online. But what are we utilizing these platforms for? Are we utilizing these platforms to empower ourselves, to learn new things, to find out ways we could find solutions for our everyday problems? So another question for you all, and you don't have to answer this, it's food for thought. What are the daily problems? If you're someone that's thinking about entrepreneurship now, what are the daily problems in your community? Oh, let's start with your family. Your family, the community, your city, your country, the world. What are those daily problems? And what are you doing about those problems? Another person will tell you that. I have a mentor who loves to say, what could be the future problems in the world? Because sometimes we also have to think as if there's no box. So what is it that could be a possible problem for parents, for teachers, for educators, for farmers, for public service employees that you might now start working on in terms of innovation, in terms of idea? So once you've been able to identify this problem, this is where the niche comes in. You have to be able to reorganize your life in such a way that you have a vision of how you're going to solve these problems. So a lot of people would say that, too many steps. If you really want to build a groundbreaking business, a groundbreaking idea, you cannot just romanticize the idea. Oh, I like people that are in tech. I want to create an app, and that's it. No, you have to be able to go to the drawing board to design. What is it that you truly want? How is it going to change your community and your world? And then you move on deeper into research. So this is where we get lazy, and we build most of what we do based on assumptions. And this is what creates a lot of frustration for young entrepreneurs, because they just talk to their friends when they're about to start a venture. They look around their community, which is just like a minute perspective of the world. They do not go deep into identifying the gaps and the unmet needs for different segments. So I want you, if you're going on this journey or you're restarting, you've already started and you failed. So now I want you to now walk backwards. What is it that you missed in the very beginning? So understanding who are these people that you want to serve, talking to these people, creating, we have technology now helping us. Something as simple as a Google survey, and sharing it with different networks. Share it with someone in South Africa, someone in East Africa, someone outside of Africa. Get to see the variations in their answers, in their replies. How do they see what you're about to bring onto the world? And what are their approaches to it? A lot of people would now say, and this is a very common as Africans, oh, I don't want to talk to too many people because I don't want them to steal my idea. So there we go again. I'm going to now shake another table. There is nothing new under the sun. For those of us that are coming from a religious conditioning, you'll find out that from some religious text, they say there's nothing new under the sun. And indeed, that's the truth. Look at us now in the world. It's a global village. That idea that you think is very different, is fantastic, is innovative, I can assure you that there's someone doing that already in South America. So you being able to connect with that person in South America is actually a plus, a feather in your cap. And how can you do that? You can only do that when you're researching, when you're talking to the right people, when you're finding out, when you're curious about the niche, about the segment that you're about to literally spend a percentage of your life in. So if you must, please, number one, work on doing your research. Find out what is your audience, the audiences in different areas, different countries. What do they prefer in terms of this service? What works for them? Who is your client really? Are you going to make believe that you're going to cater for everyone? Well, that's already your downfall because everyone cannot be your customer. I'm sure you've heard that before. It's become a bit of a cliche. Everyone cannot be your customer, just like everyone cannot be your friend. So you're going to be able to find out who are the customers that are sharing this pain at a certain level that could give you the volume that you need. Because again, sometimes the problem is there, but it's not very evident yet. It is not pronounced. So if you come and you design a business and you're broke, like a cousin that I have right now, like you're seriously broke, and you're designing a product for the elite, for someone who lives, for my Niger people, in an upscale estate. How many upscale estates are there? You would find out very limited because of where you find yourself. But let's say you were doing that in the US, then you have a lot more people. So if you do want to still continue on with creating that product, you straight away have to tailor your product to suit an international audience. But I tell you, if you limit your thinking, you limit your mind that, oh, the estates in Nigeria that I can market this product to, they have a high earning power, and this is why I'm doing it. How many return businesses would you have? When you sell one, how many times are they going to come back to you? So if you spend all of your resources, or you go beg all of your family members, or you go empty your savings, and you focus on that product or that business without having the right audience for it, you're already programming yourself to fail. I like that, Elizabeth. Keep them coming, keep dropping the nuggets. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're moving on, slowly but surely. Now that you've identified and you've tried to understand the niche that you want to go into, it'll be lovely for you to now look at it. What is your USP? Like, what is your unique selling point? Or what is your unique value proposition? What is your UVP? What clearly defines and sets your products apart from your competitors? There are always going to be competitors. So instead of looking at your competitors from a negative competition view, look at them like, what am I going to learn from those people? What's killing their businesses right now? And how can I position my business so that it becomes better, so that it doesn't fail, so that I get more revenue, so I'm able to scale up? That means you're able to grow your business faster. So once you ensure and you create that difference, then you've already added, you know, the seasoning to your dish. So always look at creating a business, getting into entrepreneurship. It is a creative process. It is a creative process wherein you have to realize that it is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You cannot be stagnant. And this is where that keyword innovation comes in. You cannot be set in stone. I am not going to change this. I'm not going to do that because it's going to upset everything. If you're not ready to rock the boat, your environment will rock your boat. Now, let me give you a bit of how that influenced my early days. When I started out my business, after I had gone through the toil and the pain and the hustle, to first of all create the space for children, because I started off just with a daycare, created the space. 3 months into our startup, Ebola Ebola took over Sierra Leone. Can you imagine having invested hundreds of thousands to renovate an entire building, left my job to start, and then Ebola came in? If it were many people, that would be the end of it. I am no magician. What made it different for me? It's because, like our first speaker said, I had already been working with entrepreneurs. I'd been working as a business development manager. I'd been helping other people build businesses. So I knew that at that point, if I wanted to be pitiful, if I wanted to cry, if I wanted to now go into depression, I had all rights to do it because I had so much loss. But that could not be the choice. It was the time for me to innovate, to make a change, to now look at the problem and say, how can I take this problem with the solution that I have now and change the dish? Most women here are familiar with cooking. I'm a feminist. I will not tell you that you should cook. But let's use food as an example. How can I use now the leftover that Ebola had given me, that's in the fridge, about to rot? How can I use that and make a new meal for myself and my family who had all believed in me? My partner at that time had invested into the business. So it meant I had to look at what I had available. What I had were great training and development skills. I'd already been doing that. What I had created over the last 3 months in terms of marketing my business then was a clientele that was getting to know me. What I also had was a great network of women, leaders, and professionals. So straight away, it's so interesting how everything is aligning on this call, and I hope someone here is learning from it. Do you know what I did straight away? Instead of crying and looking after my couple of months old child, I started reaching out to the NGOs that were handling the Ebola crisis in Sierra Leone. I said, I'm here, these are my skill sets, I can come volunteer. What is it that you have already that can make you get money? That was one thing I did. I went and I volunteered my time for free. I did that for 2 occasions only. The next week, I got an email. You are here and you are an active volunteer. We have a funding that has come for us to work on XYZ program. Unfortunately, it's in a remote part, but are you willing? Are you ready? And I'm like, look at these people. Don't they know I'm broke? Don't let the CV fool you. At that time, I was broke. I had no money. I'd invested already. I said, yes, I am available. I jumped into that project, which is just about 8 weeks. And from that project, do you know the next thing that happened? The next thing that happened was I came back home with a few $1,000s that I had not expected. If anyone had told me in the beginning of Ebola that that was possible. And that was my first training money that I ever made. That wasn't on a salary attached. So I came and yes, please, thank you for that. I came and I told myself this. What's the next level? What else can I do with this? I said, now it's time for me to dive into my networks. A lot of us have friends. We have families. We go to the church. We go to the mosque. You say hello. You help a lot. But do these people really know you for who you are and what you're about to deliver to the world? I encourage you today, please, do not get tired of promoting who you are and what you do. Do not become ashamed. The other speaker spoke about it. Be present enough for you to tune into opportunities as they come. Be ready to sell yourself, to sell your ideas. day in and day out. Please, instead of moping and feeling bad about yourself, be friends with failure. Failure is bound to come. We're all bound to make mistakes. You're bound to mess up. You're bound to lose money. Your first business might not be your last business. Before I became successful with Nanya, that's now an international name, I did 2 other ventures. I failed miserably. Nanya was about to be a failure. But because my attitude had changed, it now became a resounding success that has now given birth. So lastly, if you want to continue on in a niche and thrive at it, leverage your adaptation strategies. Look at industry trends. What is changing? How can you change your business to match 10 years? What can you do about your business that can ensure that, God forbid, I know we won't say that, if you die today, will your business outlive you? If you're sick today, will your business continue? If you're in a position, if it's good things that are happening, you suddenly decide that you want to get married, you're pregnant, what can you do that would ensure that when lifestyle changes, your business would remain? It will be sustainable and it will keep thriving. It means you have to be able to create a blueprint. Your business should be able to have protocols, strategies, write down, documents, work with other people who are professionals in certain areas of business development so that you have a model of your business that is ready to outlive you. Lastly, do not be afraid of collaborating with others. Do not be afraid of sharing your ideas with winning and innovative people, because that investor that you've been pitching and attending business seminars might be sitting next to you tomorrow in church, might be driving with you on the train, on the bus, in the car, and you never know. So this is where I will end because my time is limited. Feel free to connect with me. You could just go on our website, www.arianadiaries.com, send an email. You can follow me and say hello on LinkedIn. There's so many things there for you to learn. Thank you again for having me, and I'm welcoming questions now.
Thank you, Miss Ariana, for the wonderful section. Do not be afraid of collaborating with people. Do not be afraid of sharing your ideas with winning people. Wow, that was a wonderful one. Thank you so much, Miss Ariana. Please, what is that one thing that resonates with you from Mrs. Ariana's section? That keyword, that sentence that you're going with, that line you're going with this evening. Please do well and drop it on the chat box.
And I would
Please,
really love questions, if
we want
any.
to read you. Please drop it on the chat box, please. Okay,
Hi
research is
guys.
important. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, anyways, we're going to the question and answer section. Okay, please bear with me. Okay, failure is the greatest teacher. Never be afraid. Do not be afraid of collaborating with others. Wow, that's a wonderful one. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you, Miss Ariana. Please, if you so we are moving to the question and answer section now, and we have just 5 minutes for that. Please, if you have a question for Miss Ariana, kindly unmute yourself or you drop it on the chat box.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Chandada Sutlopeki and I'm from Botswana, right? And a question that I have for Miss Ariana is I run a small business where I host annual vision board events for Black women. I also sell self-care packages and make yearly planners for Black women only. So ever since I got into business, trust me, I market myself, I put myself out there, but nothing has been happening. Is there any nuggets she can drop for me, as to how I could actually put myself out there to this particular group that I am targeting? Thank you.
Thank you for that. Should I go ahead and answer this, or wait till the end?
Oh, yes, please. You may answer it if that's okay with the hosts.
Awesome, awesome. So I think you have a very valid question, and I want to extend that I feel for you. I know that's painful, but all is not lost. I want you to look at the people that you've been talking to. It's about time you start changing who you're talking to. You have to, there's this a lot of estimation that entrepreneurs do. Like we all either underestimate or overestimate who our clients are. So you have to look at the platforms that you're currently talking to people and the people that you're talking to. And you're going to have to change that drastically. You're going to also have to find help in terms of how you're positioning yourself, help in terms of how you're telling your story, how you're marketing your products. I know it's hard for entrepreneurs because you might not have a budget for it, but I can tell you that even just within the Amazon initiative, if you reach out to all of the women, the fabulous women here right now, there might be somebody whose expertise is really on marketing and business development that will be able to support you. Lastly, on that question, you have to go beyond the fear. So, and there's something I call that the psychology of business. If you're already believing that, okay, this has been the case, I've been trying so hard, it's not working, you have to first of all take a break. Take a break and deal with that limiting belief. That limiting belief, that's that fear that has gotten into the equation that is making you scared now that, oh, I've been doing this and it's not working. So address it. And one of the ways that you're already into vision boards, one of the ways you can do that, find 3 affirmations about your business and why you want your business to be. Actually develop a vision board of how you want that business to be. Like teach yourself, heal yourself, heal your mindset, get this business development support, change who you're talking to, market in a different way. I can guarantee you, before the end of December, reach back to me if nothing has changed.
Thank you
So I hope that
so
answers
much.
your question.
Yeah, it completely does. Thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you beyond the session, if that's okay.
That's perfect. I'm very open to connect with everybody on this call. Feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Any other person with a
Yes,
question, please?
I actually
Okay.
have a
Yeah.
question on the chat box, and I feel like others are also sending it. So my
Hello,
question
Miss
is,
Ariana. Can
my
I go ahead
question
with
is,
my question?
hi, I,
Hello.
uh, Jacinta, Miss Ayana.
Jacinta, please unmute yourself, please.
So, Priscilla,
Okay, yes.
please, could you go through the chat? There are questions there. I also dropped a question.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Miss
Hello.
Ayana. Yes,
Hello.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm having
So
a bit of a challenge with the internet right now. Could you read the question? Okay, I found a better internet. I've switched. Okay. So I also think, okay, I'm looking at the questions now. Do we have questions? If you
yes, I
want
do
to
have one.
collaborate, if we want to collaborate, but when someone that you want to collaborate that ends up implementing what you told them about, what do you do? Okay. Can I answer that, Khadija? Is that the question you wanted me to deal
Yes,
with?
yes, please. Yes, please.
Wonderful. Okay. So Collaboration. If somebody remembered what I said about that, I said you have to collaborate with people, like Michelle says, that do not go low. People who are willing. When you collaborate with somebody that is willing, it's really hard for that to turn into negative because it is going to be a symbiotic relationship. I give you something, you give me something. It's not about me taking from you. So most times, this is a mistake entrepreneurs make. They meet someone that's as broke as them. They meet someone that's a hustler as them. And those are the people that they want to collaborate with. So we have to re-evaluate what is collaboration that will make you thrive. Remember, that's the topic, thriving in your niche. So that's like a by statement. So now to your question. If you have gone into collaboration, there should always be, you don't have to go to a lawyer. Before you share your idea with anyone, go the extra mile in terms of safeguarding yourself. Write on email that I am sharing this with you right now based on a mutual arrangement. You do not have the right to do this without me. Sign an MOU. And for those that have grown, that are bigger, have a contract in place. These are the things that we have to be able to do to avoid these problems. Because now if the person has gone on and they started implementing, and you have no proof that what you shared came from you to them, there's nothing really that you can do, but you quickly figure out, okay, how can I change that idea? How can I innovate and transform that to sell to other people? I hope that answers your question, Khadija, too. So we have to be very careful in terms of the
Yes, ma'am,
collaboration.
perfectly.
Okay,
That's nice. Thank you. Yes.
All right, thank you so much. Any other question? Okay, in the absence of all, so we'll be moving on to the closing remarks. So I'll be calling on Miss Jacinta, the Vice President of the Western African Caucus. Miss Jacinta, the floor is yours. Miss Jacinta, are you there?
Yes, I am. I had raised my hand to ask a question, but it looks like I wasn't seen. I don't know if I can have that privilege of asking Miss Ariana the question before I go ahead with my closing remarks.
All right.
Okay, so Miss Ariana, one thing that stuck out to me during your wonderful presentation is the fact that entrepreneurship does not center around profiteering alone, and that you could actually add value to society through your entrepreneurial skill. Now, my problem with that is that of late, you'd have a lot of, should I say, influential people also coming with a school of thought that passion does not feed, right? So those who would want to go into social setting and be entrepreneurial about it would be at the losing end, and you shouldn't just focus on adding value to people. So how exactly can you draw a balance between adding value to people, which is what you love doing, and then still ensuring that in the end you don't go hungry? That's my question.
Thank you for that question. I think I touched a little bit on that in the very beginning. So social entrepreneurship and making monetary benefits out of it. I would love for you to, if that's your interest, you have to understand that it doesn't, in Africa especially, and this is not the norm, it differs from country to country. It is not a place where you can go in if you don't have food on your table. It is not a place where you can go in when you are in school. It is few people that are able to do it in the very beginning based on family support and other things. But it's also a matter of looking at it from this perspective. You can find a model wherein you become Robin Hood. I don't know if you're familiar with the Robin Hood folklore, where you take from the rich to feed the poor. So part of what we do at Nanya for the daycare and preschool, for example. So we are catering to upper class, middle class, high earning parents, okay, for the daycare and preschool. And they pay pretty well. They pay pretty well, like good money. We collect that money, and there's a percentage of that money that we put into not-for-profit projects.
Yeah.
So that automatically now, we can work with market women. We can work with orphan children. We can work with children in European countries. Can you imagine? In European countries who have parents who are not able to meet their emotional needs. So imagine a small country in Sierra Leone that's broke, having an institution that's now serving countries, for example, like Serbia. Like now, I'm talking to you all from Serbia, and our project that we're working on there is on here is being funded by Nanya. Why? Because the model makes room for money to pay our staff and also put into a passion. So you can now think about a passion for profit. So what you need to research is a passion for profit model. And you and I can have a more chats around it. But like I said, a passion for profit model is not for everyone. It is not for people that are broke. It's not for people that are looking for what to put on the table, because you become frustrated. Because you will have to build it up for like 4 or 5 years before you're now able to help the people that you want to help. Second strategy I'd already mentioned. Find an organization that's already doing something similar to what you're doing. Build an idea and find a way to connect with them, where you could be like a co-founder, or you could have a project that you are now powering, you're now supporting, that you get credit for. So that could be another way that you can do it. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very, very much. I think I've been asking this question for a long time now, and for the first time, I think I've got an answer that actually does satisfy me. I'm very grateful. So now to my closing remarks.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, and I'll reach out to you, like you said, to have further discussions on this.
Wonderful. Please do.
Okay. So first off, I would like to thank very much our Madam Moderator for ensuring that this event has been seamlessly moderated from beginning to end. It's not easy. So thank you so much for the efforts you put in from beginning to end to make sure that everything works on beautifully. I'll start with Miss Ariana. Your submission was beautiful, to say the least, helping us understand the need to research. I think that was the pivotal aspect of your submission, researching our market niche, where exactly our clients are, who else is doing what we intend to do, so we could learn from them, finding our value proposition, and then being innovative in every situation we find ourselves. And I think on the side, for me, I see you have a little bit of violence. So let's shake tables and let's rock the boat was always coming in here and there. And I think as an entrepreneur, you need that little bit of violence in order to push through society, right? So thank you so much, Miss Ariana. And then to Miss Chi, who from the onset sets the pace for today's discussion. It's been beautiful and refreshing listening to you, right? From the aspect where you make us understand that evolving is a personal responsibility, quite honestly, and no one is coming to save you. If you are there and you are not updating, everything around us currently is updating. And as humans or as women who want to thrive, would also have to replicate our ability to update. And for me, my greatest takeaway was having to do the analogy between the egg seller who would come and say, I have 50 eggs, How much was I able to sell? How much profit did I make? Am I running at a loss? And the need to take stock of our progress as women leaders. That was for me one key takeaway I'm going to really take into consideration going forward. I'm very grateful for all those who joined in. The emojis and the comments in the chat box alone shows how well both speakers have been very relatable in today's discussion. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for making the time to join us today and for sharing this very worthwhile knowledge with us. We are very grateful. And for my very engaging participants, we love the energy you brought to today's discussion, and we couldn't have had a better audience. So show appreciations to yourself for the last time in the chat box as we end today's session. Well done, everyone. And I'm glad to have been on today's discussion. Have a wonderful day as well. Bye. Over to you, Madam Moderator.
Thank you, Miss Jacinta. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jacinta. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Okay, so now we'll be having a family photograph. So please turn on your camera, your video, so that we can take a family photograph. Please, let's turn on our camera, please. Let's turn on her video. Sherifatu, we are waiting for you. Jacinta, we are waiting. Okay, thank you, everyone. So please give me that smile, the Hali smile. That Hali smile. Miss Jacinta, I've not seen that Amazon smile. Please, let's smile to the camera. Oluwole Olabiyi, we are waiting for you. Neged, sorry, I got that correctly. All right. Okay, so thank you so much for this section. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. So we'll look forward to having you the next time. Thank you. Have a wonderful night rest.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thanks
coming.
for the amazing sections. I so much